Talk about all the gear and no idea.
How do you process a lifetime of anxiety? Quit your job and go for an adventure.
See you later!
My name's Sam. I've got a rare genetic kidney disease called Alport syndrome. It causes hearing loss, eye abnormalities and kidney failure.
We can see that your kidney function is deteriorating quite fast.
Against all the odds, I've decided to try and cycle 10,000 kilometres around Europe to raise money for charity. Join me on my journey from off-road mountain biker to conscious living, skydiving, wild camping, bike touring, don't know what the hell I'm doing but starting to get the hang of it, I think, adventurer.
If you'd like to help me out, hit the subscribe button in the bottom right corner. I'll really appreciate it. Also follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Scrap the Mask, and if you want to find out more about the campaign, click the link in the description. Let's go.
In last week's episode, I completely failed to ride my bike from London to Brighton.
Cramp in both legs, so bad right now.
Join me in this episode as I begin to prepare myself for the adventure I've 100% committed to now.
Yeah, it's real now, man. It's happening in a week's time.
Yeah.
I'm not always a massive fan of planning things, but I had a strong feeling that my usual technique of just winging it wasn't going to work out too well for me with an adventure of this scale. So I started to make a plan. In the meantime, since I was completely self-funding the adventure, I needed to start saving some money. I arranged to move out of my shared house and managed to time everything just right. My housemate found a tenant to replace me, and with the help of my uncle and my dad, I moved into a cheaper shared house just outside of town.
I have an idea.
As you know by now, I needed to make some serious improvements to my endurance fitness.
Oh, my toe.
Aside from a complete lack of training, bouncing along with full suspension and knobbly tyres, I think this ridiculous contraption I built to film my ride didn't help either. It weighed a ton and caused a lot of faff. So now I'd like to introduce you to my new partner in crime, Creaky Doors. I've never owned a road bike before, and I got this bad boy second hand, so I'm hoping he's going to be up to the challenge and see me through to the finish.
So the idea this time is to get the clamp and fit it on the front like that, and I specifically bought a frame with a long headset so I could fit the clamp in, and I'm going to try and get an aluminium plate fitted to the front there with an aluminium pole to keep it lightweight, welded at an angle, poking out the front like that, nice and safe, so that I can fit the camera to the front of the pole facing back towards me. It just happens to be that there's a car garage downstairs where I used to work, so I'm just going to head in now to see their specialist welder called Lee to see if he can help me out. Right, Lee, how's it going?
All right, Sam.
Yeah, all good.
You keeping well?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
Good.
Let's just pop this up on your jacket like that. Yeah, should be able to hear that now. Let's have a
Cool.
little,
Okay.
give us a little test.
Testing. Test. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes,
That's
let's do
better. Let's wheel this thing through and see what we've got. Okay.
So that's the plate, and that's the clamp. Probably going to have to take the doors badge off, aren't we?
I need to go and get my my special protractor.
Your special protractor.
Well, yeah, it's really good.
I'm
Honestly,
intrigued.
it cost me a fortune to get. There we go. Lovely. Look at
I have faith in you, Lee.
that. I hope so, because I don't. I'm going to cut this end at 35 degrees, weld it to the plate, mount it up for the full length of the tube, so I can get you on the bike, and then we can see exactly where you're going to be comfortable with the camera.
I left it all in Lee's very capable hands and figured it was time for me to get out on the tarmac and put some miles in.
Oh yes, little morning pedal to start the day. Beautiful.
It became apparent that I really wasn't a fan of doing exercise. The repetitive movement, the hours spent on my own riding on the bike with too much time to think,
This is a very long hill.
made me realise that I definitely prefer doing something that involves a bit more action and skill.
This isn't even fun.
Maybe I already knew that, but this definitely reaffirmed it.
My legs are on fire!
It was time to get my life in check as well. Cancelling insurance policies, renewing my phone contract, finding medical travel insurance, selling my car for extra cash on the trip. The list seemed endless, and my overall route plan changed a few times, but eventually it looked a little bit like this. My journey was set to start in Henley-on-Thames. It's not where I'm from, but it's a lovely little town, and it's where I worked and lived for the last few years. Once over the channel, my loop around Europe would commence. The idea was to cycle from city to city and do 5 skydives in each country. I wasn't exactly sure how long it was going to take me, but I gave myself some rough deadlines to get to each checkpoint, and my initial aim was to complete the full 6,000 miles, 10,000 kilometres in 6 months. Pretty ambitious, I know. I feel quite anxious as well as reassured that I have the support that I need, but at the same time, I've never really had to think too much about my diet, and clearly this trip is going to put a strain on my kidneys. And when it comes to the nutrition, I feel like I need to know a lot more about how I'm going to look after myself during the trip. So today I will be visiting Louise Hepner, who's a sports nutritionist, and she's going to help me put a plan together of what to eat during the trip.
The really interesting thing about this is that with sports nutrition, we are really emphasising on fueling and recovery. And when we talk about recovery, we're talking a lot about protein. And obviously, protein is one of the big things in your diet that is going to be quite a challenge because we're kind of working to a lot lower levels. And so it creates quite a challenge in terms of sports nutrition and renal nutrition, and somehow we need to come to a compromise and marry the two up together.
We put a meal plan together, but this was quickly becoming my biggest concern regarding the trip. I visualised myself just wasting away and unable to recover from the long days of cycling if I couldn't find the right food at the right time.
Are you having a big support farewell?
On the 11th of May, so
where
everyone's
are you
going to turn
going?
up.
Yeah, where is it from?
Henley Town Square. I'm just going to fill it up with family and friends and whoever else cares. And
I care. I want to come. 11th of May.
Yeah. Later that day, I got a call from Lee to say that he'd just made the finishing touches to the camera mount. Wicked. Nice it is, dude. Nice. Time to test the mount out on the bike. I love the fact the camera mount looks like Gonzo. Hello! After a quick test, I realised this was a game changer for me. I was so chuffed with how lightweight, strong and easy it was to fit to the bike. Cheers, Lee, you're an absolute legend. Welcome to the interlude. First of all, thanks for watching if you've made it this far, but also, while I give my porridge a quick zap, I wanted to let you know that I have a Patreon account. It's a platform where you have the opportunity to support me for as little as £1 a month to continue making this series. There are 5 different tiers that offer various perks for your support, and for the minimum donation you get early access to each episode. The money will go towards editing software, plugins, hard drives, camera equipment, music, everything I need to help produce the series. appreciate your support and thanks for watching. Let's crack on with the episode. Time to move house again. All that money I'd saved needed to remain saved, so I packed all my stuff one last time and moved back into my mum's house for 1 month before the big send-off. I did not think that was going to fit.
I've left the dogs out in the back. Oh, I suppose you want a cup of tea?
Yes, please.
Come on in.
Mother. How you doing?
Oh, don't film me in my jumpers and me old smellies.
But you're always in your old smellies.
Yeah, I know. I didn't make any effort.
How do you feel about me moving home?
Well, it's only 5 weeks, Sam, so...
You can put up with it. Since I've been living away from home, it turns out my mum has started doing doggy daycare. And there are dogs everywhere. Martin,
Yes, Sam?
how do you feel about me being back in your house?
Yes. We'll wait and see.
That sounds ominous.
You forgot the milk.
Martin,
Yes, Sam. No milk.
you forgot the milk. Mum,
Doghouse.
how do you feel
This is a doghouse.
about Martin forgetting the milk?
I don't mind Martin forgetting the milk. I have a problem with you filming me every 2 seconds.
Oh, you farted. Oh, it stinks. Oh. Next on the seemingly everlasting to-do list. I am so excited today because today is the day that we're going to give old creaky doors over here a makeover. I'm here at AW Cycles in Caversham to see my mate Rob, who owns the shop, and he's kindly donated a whole bunch of kit for me to use on the trip. Pannier bags, shoes, glasses, gloves, you name it. He's got absolutely everything, and I can't wait to see what Creaky looks like afterwards. Ah, here he is.
Oh, how's it doing, dude?
Yeah, good man, you alright?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good.
Yeah, sweet, good to see you.
Yeah, excellent. What can we do for you?
So, let's try and sort the bike out, shall we?
Fantastic. Let's do it. You've got a list for us? Because let's see what we can do today, and let's see what we can add on.
Yes.
I don't know whether to look at the camera or you.
Just look at me. Ignore the cameras there. Ignore the camera, yeah.
Do you want to keep things separate between, obviously, camera gear, clothing, what you need for, obviously, jumping out of a plane? You name it, you tell me.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking camera gear on the right.
Camera gear on the right, yeah. So full waterproof for that, obviously. Do we need separate padding, or is that something you're going to do yourself?
Separate padding, what to keep it?
Yeah, because most pannier bags come as literally open it up, roll down top, that's it. Stuff it in the order you want to use it. It's just a waterproof lining with a hard plastic back to it. So that's normally what you get. So that's what, like I say, Oxford Products are quite willing to support you either way. It's more of a case of that saddle angle, dude. We've got to sort that. And that saddle as well.
What's wrong with it?
Well, it's up in the air. So basically, all your prostate's going to be resting on here. So it's going to be uncomfortable for you. Do you see the angle? Not ideal. We'll change that. We need a nicer saddle. It worked for you, did it? Right, there we go. That's why. We're going to change that. We need to change that.
So this is Chris's old bike. How do you feel about seeing it embark on this new journey?
I'm quite excited, to be honest. I think it's doing better than just riding around the corner. From,
Around the corner.
What have you been using it for?
I've been using it to commute 1/4 of a mile to work every day.
I'm sure about a pub bike as well.
Yeah, and to the pub.
Waterproofing wise, it literally is a drawstring. So it's just a hole that you'd pack up in the order that you want to get to your stuff. You can actually, so power source comes out of here, we can put it into a junction box where you can charge your phone, you can charge your lights. This one here is a 15 litre waterproof. Come on, follow me up there. And you'll see what I mean. This is the sort of shoe we're going to be looking for. So you get the more sort of basic waterproof lower part of the shoe, reinforced sole, but you can walk around with it with the SPD 2-bolt cleat pattern. The other alternative is more of a mountain bike shoe. I don't think you want that. It doesn't give you much sort of thermal protection. There's not a lot to the shoe. It's designed more for performance rather than longevity.
Let's face it, I'm only going to be wearing the SPDs when I'm actually riding. I think I'll just quickly switch, put my trainers on.
Oh, I would 100% don't bring these as your only shoes. Jesus, you'll hate yourself.
Yeah.
Because you think there is no flex.
No.
They are rigid. You'll be like that. I'm sick of walking like this. It's doing my nutting.
How soon do I need to start wearing these in?
Wearing it in wise, I would have said, wow, you probably want to start as soon as possible because you also don't clip in much, do you? So this is going to be a new thing you have to get used to. And you'd want to be competent on the clipping in of the SPD pedals before you go packing up your bike and realising that, hang on a minute, I'm stuck to it. Because that can be an interesting experience. Slow crash, but you'll still crash.
So my dad's come to join the party.
Yes, just passing by I was.
This helmet saved my life. That will be your normal riding jersey.
Dad, can you do a bit of filming? Thank you. I naturally look for mountain bike gear, and I do feel like this is more of a mountain because I don't know much about road biking.
Well, I mean, I showed you what I love with that. That's my road helmet, and that's a beautiful helmet.
See, that's doing the same thing. There's like this gap there.
Right, then we go to the ladies' helmets over here.
Ladies' helmets. I might have a lady-shaped head. Ah, see, that's.
So you got a woman's head.
I got a woman's head.
How does that feel?
Brilliant. So if you've got this in white,
why you got to have white for?
Huh?
What you got to have white for?
Because I want it to reflect the sun. I don't want it to.
White doesn't reflect the sun.
Yes, it does.
It does not.
You're lying.
I'm not lying. And if it's matte, it definitely won't reflect the sun. You need gloss to reflect anything. Try that one on.
I've got a children's sized helmet. Children's female-sized head. Excellent. That's
a good
super comfortable.
Good helmet that we got there. And they come in a variety of colours. Safest colour you can have. Same helmet as well. Fit your mint. You don't want to give that one a go? No? Okay, I'll put that one away. I think the Ergon grip is going to be the one to go for yourself. Key things we get from this, you'll notice it's got an elongated palm distribution area. So it's a little bit bigger, which opens up your palm, giving you more support, but also helps with the blood flow. So for that longer ride, which you're going to be doing, more duration in the saddle, it means you're going to have a more comfortable grip.
Yeah, definitely those.
Right, that's the jacket for you then. How's that feel?
Yeah.
Cycling position, not restrictive around the arms? It's alright, it's meant to be a snug fit.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Great.
That's the jacket you go for then. That is
Black though?
Black, it's got the reflective strip on it. You can flick this out so you can see the green. It's got reflective on the bottom, and 2 reflective strips come down the side. This is got reflective on the side as well. It's a £150 Gore jacket. It's windproof, it's waterproof. I use that combined with some other clothing to -28 in Iceland, and was absolutely fine.
Riding into headwind makes it so difficult, and riding one-handed doesn't exactly help. Oh, I got cramps so bad. Ow! I'm not built for long distance riding. I don't feel too good. I feel a bit lightheaded. My legs are like jelly. I'm not in a good way right now. Oh.
My last day at work came around pretty fast. We all went out for a meal, and much to Josh's discomfort, the lads gave me a few words of wisdom.
As an Englishman, I find this very uncomfortable. As a traditional English gent, this is far beyond my realms of comfort.
Always keep 10% in your back pocket.
I think if I was in the same situation as you, I'd probably be still in the office sulking.
When you're hooning it down a hill in the middle of nowhere and you're on your own, don't push it too hard because if you come off, you're properly f***ed.
I mean, for me personally, I worry about your food. I worry about food a lot.
I hope you manage to get lots of data on your phone so that wherever you go, you can cast that Tinder net widely.
I worry about my own food, but I worry about your food. Knowing how much I eat and how much you eat.
And allow the allow the ladies along the way to experience in the joy of Sam. You know.
Cheers, buddy. Are you going to reminisce on the time we had a bath together?
always will reminisce on the time we had a bath together. Actually, I don't even need to reminisce because I have photographic evidence. So when I'm ever feeling cold and lonely, which is very often, I can whip out my phone, look at the photo of us in the bath together and immediately feel warm and fuzzy inside. Yeah.
I love my grandma to bits. We're very close and I visit her as often as I can.
No callers today, thank you. Cuddles.
Let's have cuddles.
Yeah, cuddles.
This was her reaction just a few weeks earlier when I told her about the trip.
I'm going to cycle 6,000 miles around Europe and skydive in every city I visit.
You're mad. Hot cross bun. I don't like this oven. It's the worst oven I've ever had. Ever had.
Why?
It's supposed to be all singing, all dancing, and there's all these things you've got to learn what they are, and my poor little brain won't take it all in. I shouldn't have this at my age. I should have a little simple oven. But there we are.
Despite the oven technicalities, she asked me how she could stay up to date with what I'm up to on the trip. So I helped her set up an Instagram account. Okay, nice smile. Good.
Good.
So
Right,
that's your profile?
That's good. Will that be on there as well?
Yeah, when you log into it.
Right, I made some chilli, and I made it ever so hot. It is really, really hot. So that is cucumber with a tiny bit of sugar on and lemon juice. It's going to be so hot, I don't know whether you're going to be able to eat it. Anyway, and this one is chopped mint from the garden with yoghurt, and it'll cool down the mouth, hopefully cool down the mouth.
I am slightly nervous actually about how hot this is.
Are you?
A little bit.
Well, Jack's eaten it and he didn't die.
That's the main thing.
You're here to tell the tale.
Was it really hot, Jack?
Well, let's just say the old anus was a bit sparky the following morning. I hope that's not going out to the world.
It will. Right, I'm going to try the anything but chili.
Oh.
Is it crazy hot? Maybe I didn't quite get enough meat. Let's try this again because I'm not struggling with that. That's lovely.
Nice with that.
It's lovely, boy.
Yeah, you can.
That's downright lovely, that.
Well, I'm sorry about the anticlimax of that scene, but I genuinely thought it was going to blow my head off.
Grandma,
Yes, Samps.
if
Yes.
you had one piece of advice for me on the trip, what would you say?
One piece of advice, just one sentence. Go for it, but pace yourself. That all right?
Meanwhile, Rob made the finishing touches to Creaky Doors, and all I could think about was how fit I needed to be to get on the bike and go, go, go.
Oh, I can't wheelie this bike.
Sketchy.
I can't wheelie that bike.
If you're sat at home right now watching this, thinking of doing your own bike tour for the first time, I strongly urge you to take on board Grandma's advice, because at the time I was completely unaware of how valuable her wise words would soon become.
Well done. Ready to go.
Took about all the gear and no idea.
You'll be fine.
Cheers, Steve.
No worries,
Thanks a
man.
lot. Right.
Sweet. That's it. Yeah. Can we check that again? Yeah, it's real now, man. It's happening in a week's time.
Yeah.
Join me next week for part 1 of the last and very busy 7 days as I make the final preparations for the trip. At this stage, I was just fun jumping to rack up the numbers.
I wasn't recording any of that. Steve Howes in the house. I've been getting slightly bogged down in the logistics. Drugs. Pretty used to going over a few bumps on the mountain bike, but on the road bike it's totally different. That's insane.